Welcome back to Coyotes Curling. We're live coming to you from Tempe, Arizona for Draw 12 of the first annual Fall Fiesta Bonspiel on this Saturday, November 15th. We'll be getting started shortly here, as on Sheet A we have Team Gamboa versus Barb and the Rookies, Odd Man Out versus Briggs on B. Sheet C has Button Busters versus Seeger. And Sheet D has Hurry Hard and the Wily Coyotes. It looks like we're getting action underway, and we will probably start over on Sheet D, where Mike and Sue Cassidy will be taking on the Hurry Hard team, made up of mostly Canadians out of Vernon and Calgary: Carol Martel, Diane Knorr, Lorraine Mansell, and Valerie. Play just underway. Team Hurry Hard sitting one in the house, looking to split it right off the get-go. Tucked behind Wily Coyotes guard just off the center line. Mike calling for it to be followed right in behind. Second shot by Wily Coyotes. Sue Cassidy appears to be sporting her Curling Stone hat and Canadian sweater. Coming up just short of the house, we've got some staggered guards. Carol Martel looking to split the house, have three. Just runs out through the back. Let's see what Mike plays here. Still wanting to come in around that same time, trying to draw to the button. Getting down, watching the line pretty intently. Makes it past the first guard. Hits into the second on the nose. And sweeping back. Wily Coyotes coming out of Orange County, California. Been around the western United States curling scene for some time. And I'm pretty sure the team from Vernon, BC and Calgary, Alberta is enjoying our 80-degree weather, sunshine. to have that draw. Sue's first shot away. Rex on that red guard. Pretty hard skip calling off the sweepers. Coming in a bit inside. And looks to be a bit heavy as well. This is Team Cassidy's 4th attempt at this draw. Hopefully 4 times a charm. Team Hurry Hard looking to steal one, as that slides through as well. As mentioned, we are in draw 12. We are using all 4 sheets again this afternoon. And at some point we will probably switch on over to see either the Button Busters and Seeger, or perhaps we'll go over to sheet B and check out Odd Man Out versus Briggs here coming up. We'll make sure we give all 4 sheets some coverage. And if there's some of you watching at home that want to see something, let us know and we can certainly give it some attention. Interesting play there for Hurry Hard. Currently sitting 2, but they have given the Wile E. Coyotes some backing, a little something to hit. Be interested to see how this plays out. Mike very deliberate in a lot of his motions. Not a lot of wasted energy. Interesting kind of how here at the Arizona Curling Club in Tempe, Arizona, we have the Broken Broom Lounge, and I'll be darned if the Wile E. Coyotes out of Orange County, California didn't show up with a logo from the bar, from the Broken Broom Lounge on their team shirts. The competition overall so far this weekend has been pretty intense. A lot of teams coming, or partial teams, that will be participating in the men's and women's Mopac playdowns, and for a lot of them this is their first trip here. Chance to learn a little bit about the place, play on the ice, check out the facility, because it is the only dedicated ice in the southwestern United States. Interesting decision here coming up for Team Hurry Hard, as Mike had a brilliant shot in there. He's now sitting shot, it appears. Not really tucked away, but he is kind of froze up to that other line. So depending on what happens, if that pops out or something, this end could turn around in a hurry. First to two for Team Hurry Hard. On its way. Coming in hot and wide. Just flashes, and Mike Cassidy's saying, hey, let's just put up a guard. We're looking to steal one in the first end. Not a bad way to get the day rolling. Just had a nice lunch over at Four Peaks Brewing. Time to come throw some stones. Shots away, coming down. Sue's called off the sweeping. Appears to be a little heavy. And to the back of the 12th. So we'll see what happens here with Team Hurry Hard, as they have a chance to run just a slight tap back for two and get a good start to the first end. Line perhaps could be a little tight. And a steal of one for yellow. the odd man out Briggs game, as it appears there is probably a big end building up here. Briggs managed to just get one in there, as odd man out was sitting 4. Odd man out coming from a mix between Granite, Washington, and Coyotes, Arizona. Although I have it on pretty decent authority, Ted McCreary is from the Edmonton area. They're facing Team Briggs, made up of Bronco Briggs, Peter Maxey, whose son is playing up in Ontario this weekend, Brian Cristal, and Cindy Frazier. Ted getting ready to throw his 8th and final stone at the end here. After this last stone here by Briggs, we'll cut over to the Seeger matchup against the Button Busters. Seeger, playing out of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, has recently become a Coyotes curling member earlier this week. We're happy to have him around. And the team they are taking on, the Button Busters, is made up of Dwayne Herbert, Bob Cameron, Tom Stokes, and Deborah Aubry. That's where we'll be heading right after this last stone. Pete calling off the sweepers. And it looks like we've got one for Briggs. And as promised, we're going to go over to the Seeger Button Buster game. And first stone's away here in the second end. Joining us is Mike Siggins of the Broomstackers, who just played in the last draw. Welcome, Mike.
Broomstackers are unfortunately done for this bump, so I'm happy to be here.
That gives you time to come in and help us out.
I guess so.
Looking for the silver lining there.
Well, I guess I'll be playing the next time.
Okay.
So skipping Team Seeger, just a quick shout out to Wes. He came by on Monday and taught us a little sweeping class, which our participants and as well as my wife actually.
Yes, it was.
We definitely learned a few things. I learned how wrong our skip can be sometimes. Daryl, I hope you're watching this. But I really appreciate him coming out and just doing that and trying to help a couple of new guys out like me or myself.
Yeah, and we're real excited to have him becoming a member and spending a little bit more time around here. I know the other teams from the San Francisco Bay Area that are here, we're all happy to see him again, and you know, everybody has told us we're getting a great new club member. Seeger, go ahead.
I was going to say the Button Busters, they're Coyotes Curling Club team. Dwayne, Bob, Tom, and Deborah. They beat Bucky and Greg the first time out, so good game there.
Yeah, Bucky, you know, former U.S. champion back in '97 in the mixed division, And Greg was a longtime curler, had participated in high-level events prior to it becoming an Olympic sport back in Salt Lake.
Yep, they beat the crap out of me yesterday.
And Dwayne resides, splits time between Minnesota, California, and Tucson. So he plays out of St. Paul Curling Club, one of the California clubs, and Coyotes Curling as well. So, yes, well, we have some...
So he's the Tucson wing of the Coyotes Curling.
Yes. We do not at the moment, but I know they're out trying to get us one here.
Looks like Button Busters have the hammer, so there was a blank receiver scored. So I think West is probably trying to early on to the end here. He could guard this up, but more aggressive play would to be the tap this yellow in on the red, split out the back. He's sitting two, especially without the hammer. Very good call here. That was a heater. I think from the way you tapped his broom on the back line, backline weight, that was probably more like a normal appeal, so maybe a little miscommunication there. Those things happen. I know our team's talked a little bit about that ourselves. You never know how long these particular players have been curling together. But especially in these bonds, it was a lot of times you get who wants to go? Throw up your hands. Especially out of towners.
Yeah, and you see that a lot down here in the Southwest because you have so many people, coming together. Note the old, for those of you watching outside of Arizona, nobody from Phoenix is from Phoenix.
Except me.
you're the odd man out. You're on the wrong team.
Well, I don't know why people move away from, what is it, 76 outside today? It's sunny. It's tough living.
Yeah, but so you see a lot of hybrid or blended teams. People from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Canada, and it's interesting because a lot of times a lot of them are skips back home, but they come here and they're, I don't want to say rank and file, but they have to become part of a role that they're not necessarily always used to.
Right. Especially you see, we're getting a lot of influx of Canadians coming in right now because of those cool people that spend part of the time down in Arizona and probably part of their time up in Canada. And they're subbing in on the league teams, and especially the way our leagues are set up, specifically Wednesday and Sunday I'm referring to. We just have one competitive league night, which is Tuesday night. And that is where you're allowed to form your own teams. The rest of the leagues that we have on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday are open. And being that we're a new facility, we have a lot of new curlers. So these Canadians that are coming down, they're subbing for leads and seconds on teams. Skip would have been curling for about 4 months.
Very
so
true.
It's certainly an interesting dynamic. We just missed a very nice double break here. Team Seeger. Did we go so much? I saw something out of the corner of my eye, but
call him for peel weight.
so again, Bud Bust with the hammer. So Steger's trying to keep as many redstones out of the house as he can. But I've noticed that's kind of been very consistent with the San Francisco clubs that I've played recently. Like to play a game which keep things clean.
Well, I think, and for Wes, part of that comes back to him curling for so many years in Canada.
Right.
And, you know, it's interesting because some of the clubs, and you look at even here in Arizona, the teams that have more of a Canadian influence, that's more the style they play as well versus somebody that, you know, comes from Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Well, at the
in a
end
lot
of the day,
cases.
if you don't have the hammer and there's no of the team's opponent stones in the house when it's the last stone of the end, they can only get one.
Yep, very true.
It kind of takes away your ability to steal. But, you know, that's the goal. When you have the hammer, you can give up one or you can steal. And it plays out, and then if you have the hammer, try to get 2 or 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So unless Wes can sweep this through, I'm gonna go ahead and give 10-1 that he's gonna take this out. Oh, look at it freeze too. Less lovely there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that basically nullifies it anyway.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
It makes it tougher for your opponent to hit your stone. So
Exactly, exactly.
anytime they're in the parking lot, as Jared calls it, behind the team line. I'm sure that the button busters, Dwayne probably wanted that on top of the team line.
Yeah, it was a problem.
Get a score for us real quick there. As you can see, they were able to pop that out of the house, and we just found out that Seeger got 5 uniforms. Quite a reason to keep it clean, other than the one we were talking about. We got 5-0. All you're trying to do is
Maintain
give up one and get the hammer back.
Yep, that's through 1.
Oh, it's through 1.
Yes.
It's like golf.
Yes. And
So
with Mike and I having played a lot of golf, you know, at higher levels, you will hear a fair share of references on that. You know, and we were talking earlier about how there was a game in the last draw that got out of hand early, and I had said it's a lot like a golf tournament. You can't win it or lose it on Thursday, or you can't win it on Thursday or Friday, but you can certainly lose it. You can shoot yourself out, and it's the same thing on some of these games. If you can control the damage and not give up a 5-ender in the first, you know, it becomes a lot.
It's like going like a triple bogey or something.
Yeah, you know.
All of a sudden, you got to start going for the green 2, hitting driving those par 4s, trying to be aggressive. And sometimes you more often than not, you put yourself in a worse situation. But it's kind of the only chance you have to get back.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and something that was discussed yesterday a bit, you know, getting up big early and keeping the foot on the pedal, so to speak. One of the nice things about it is in a bonspiel like this where you maybe play 4, 5, 6 games, if you can keep a couple of those games to 6 ends, you save that much wear and tear on your body.
Oh, especially the front end guys that are sweeping their butts off.
Yep.
So you see Wes able to take that red out and lose the shooter. I mean, all else remaining equal here, I'm guessing we're going to be looking at 2 for button busters.
Yeah. Always.
So he puts one back in there. He can't. Even if he misses it, Seeger can't exactly. You can't double it out.
No.
With that stone that's a biter all the way.
Yeah, that's one that, you know, I don't know how you get to it or why you would have bothered with it earlier. That's the so.
Let's split the house here a little bit, and I mean, you never know. You might entice Wes to try and draw to the button, and then you can hit for 3. So if I were Dwayne here, I'd be trying to go out to the outside of the 12-foot.
Yeah, the one thing he probably doesn't want to do, though, is be a little deep, because then it could bring in some kind of crazy
opportunity.
Yeah.
That's why you just want a biter, because even if you throw it in the 12-foot or even in the 8-foot, he could freeze on top and you can't get him out, so you can't get 3. All of a sudden you're trying to draw to the 4-foot for 2. You can see that's exactly what happened here. Well, based on where they have the broom here,
looks like takeout weight to me.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised here. He's not trying to freeze.
Yeah, but giving up 2 isn't.
Giving up 2 is not the end of the world, and you're up 5-0.
Plus, Dwayne still has to make the shot.
That's right. And a freeze is hard. I've said it probably 100 times this weekend, just sitting on this broadcast here. It's got to be the perfect weight and the perfect line. Here in the second end, they might not feel quite comfortable with the way that it's curling so far. Because the problem is if he throws it a little bit too light, he can hit it out. If he throws it a little too heavy, they can hit it out. Line's not quite right. I mean, it's got to be a perfect shot. It's basically the equivalent of trying to draw it on the button. And if you're touching the red and not drawing the button, then they can hit it. So a very difficult shot, especially wide open like that. So Dwayne's going to draw here and try to get 2.
Yeah.
Going to the third.
And it sounds so silly, but the 12-foot circle. Geometry was not my strong suit, but I know we could figure the area out. It's pi r squared, I believe. Yeah. How many times have we seen it miss though in the last couple of days?
Well, it's not. I mean, again, just like the freeze or the draw to the button, it seems so easy, but you're throwing 142 feet.
Yep.
A 42-pound rock. It's a lot more nuanceable than it sounds.
And I'd be a little nervous at this point that they're not, oh, no. And is he going to get it out? Is he going to get it out? Out the back. So
just one.
Button Busters take 1 in the second.
113 square feet.
Thank you.
That house.
Thank you, cell phones.
Tried to do the math in my head. A couple of Coors Lights in, it's a little bit more difficult. Check out that game.
And with this, we're going to go check out the Gamboa game versus Barb and the Rooks. Which is going into end 3. And it is 2-1 Gamboa after 2. Gamboa has a couple of guys from his playdown team. They're one of those we were talking about earlier, but they came as couples. So we have 2 couples playing together there. They also gave a little bit of a run at ping pong last night.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Were you able to hold the flag for the Coyotes Curling Club, or?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
Eric, our resident ping pong master.
Whoa, whoa. Like to keep that one in my back pocket.
Sorry, I didn't want to blow your hustle. You
Oh,
on, buddy.
it's so lucrative.
Ping pong table courtesy Tracy Human, right?
That is correct.
She's been out here watching, support her daughter.
Yep. Who was playing on the Coyotes seniors team. I think it was 3 seniors and a senior in college.
Yeah, it could have been the only senior that she was. Well, I was rooting for them, and I was rooting for myself. Would have been fun to play Kelly, Denise, Jamie, and who's her last person I'm missing on that team?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The seniors team.
Yeah, you had
Marnie.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know Marnie very well, but I know that I've had some fun curling with Kelly, so I was certainly rooting for her in the last game, and if we both would have won, then we would have played each other and had a great time. So back to the action here. Barb Pressman and the Keelings do have the hammer here. Looks like they're trying to draw behind cover. Looks like got a little bit too heavy. So we determined that I was saying Gamboa correctly the first night I was broadcasting.
Sure.
Okay, I guess so. We're still saying it wrong.
Yeah. That's what I called him last night to his face, and he didn't correct me.
Okay. So Barb's got the hammer here, and you can see those two stones in the back of the house. I think it was someone told me that this is Gary's been curling for it's weeks, not years.
It's been he came out to our Monday night drop-in for the first time about 3 weeks ago, and they've been here a couple times since. It's the first time he came into the pro shop, bought a slider, bought a broom, bought and
So he's financially vested.
Yes. So he's all decked out, and him and Barb have been working hard on his game the last few weeks, and probably will continue to do so.
Well, that's great. Always fun to have new people out here. And, one thing I've seen with a lot of newer curlers is they're very intimidated to get involved in these spiels. So it's great to see that Gary's willing to come out here and play. And, they're one-on-one, so they've got at least one winner under the belt.
Yeah, and their loss came to a team that's no slouch in Bromancing the Stone, led by Justin McBride.
Man.
So yes,
You guys had a game against them early this morning.
Yes.
For all those that wanted to watch that game, I was supposed to be here broadcasting the game and totally dropped the ball. So
we appreciate you sleeping in.
yeah. Well, I do too. I actually appreciate sleeping in myself. But Barb, very experienced curler, and she's also playing with they call them the Rooks, obviously. For the three of them, all rookies. Tatiana and Sean have been curling for no more than 6 months.
Yep, but this is their third or fourth spiel, including going to McCall and a couple other. They played in the 5 and under here, and I believe the Hotter Than Hell as well.
Yeah, they play with me in the 5 and under. We had a great time. Sean and Tatiana are incredible curlers for being only doing it for 5 or 6 months. They take the game seriously. They work on it. They come out to practice.
Sean has probably one of the more interesting warm-up routines, though. Listening to Marty Robbins. Can't say many athletes do that.
He was playing third for me in the 5 and under, and I gave him his third duty of having a meeting with the team beforehand to try and pump them up. And all I could see from the other end of the ice was his head shaking around back and forth, but he must have been saying something pretty fierce to try and fire up the rest of the team. And it worked. Yeah, we ended up winning that game, but I couldn't help but laugh. But Sean's a great guy. We had a good time with him in Idaho, and every time we play here as well. Alright, back to the action there. So you can see, we were talking about earlier, those guards there and be able to draw behind the button. Tatiana's had a couple opportunities to do that, and she has done so successfully. So with the hammer here and those 3 reds in front, I would think Team Gamboa is going to try and peel out those guards. Should be able to double out those top 2, lose the shooter, and kind of open this end back up. Not quite what they were looking for, but they did get everything off the center there. So if I'm Barb, I'm probably asking for something, maybe biting top 12, but short's okay. Just guarding up that lane. You got those 2 right there. can see that's just where she's tapping her broom.
And then we have one more draw still this afternoon prior to dinner being provided by Pasta Brioni.
Funny, we're doing, just for full disclosure, I own Pasta Brioni. We're doing Mexican food for the Fall Fiesta Bonspiel. Our usual theme is obviously Italian with the name of Pasta Brioni. And I told all my guys in the kitchen, many of them from origins from Mexico, that we're doing Mexican food, and they could not have been more excited. I was gonna make the enchilada sauce myself and make the salsa myself. They said, no, we got this. You don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. So I'm looking forward to that. They said, come here and pick it up. So I'm gonna come do that about 6:30. We'll have a nice dinner tonight.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to some of those churros with ice cream as well.
Oh yeah.
Cinnamon ice cream from Sugar Bowl in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, another big shout out to Carol Huntress and the Sugar Bowl team.
As we can see, Barb the Rook sitting 3 in the house at the moment, all under cover from each other.
You can see by the tap of the shoulder here that Paul's probably calling for a peel weight shot. He wants to try and get in there. He thinks he can. He can probably get all 3 of them. He hits it just right, but if he can get 1 or 2 of them out, he'll be pretty happy. So he's got 1 there. So still sitting the 2 here. I would expect that Barb's going to try and call the same shot here, just a biter in top 12, maybe not quite as deep as that last one. See her tapping her broom. That's where she wants it.
You know, I see no harm in this biting the paint, because when all's said and done, if they flare wide or something and go through, all of a sudden now you got a biter that counts.
Oh yeah, well the ideal shot is to bite, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to miss long.
No.
Because the more separation you have between those two rocks, the
yes.
tougher it is to double or triple them out.
Yep.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, she's looking to count here with hammer. If she didn't have the hammer, probably a different story. She probably puts a centerline guard up there. About
Calling
2,
for sweep.
2, 3.
No.
This one looks a little wide here. Probably going to be a little tap. No, not quite a tap.
However, that little rub does kind of bury that back yellow a bit more.
Oh, they've got the nose double here. Same discussing the broom placement here. Says, yeah, if I want to hit it right on the nose there, right in the center line, should be able to spill those 2 yellows out and lose a shooter.
And this is a team that's certainly capable of making this shot, having played in the MOPAC regionals and the U.S.
Yeah.
Yep, the club nationals as well. So certainly something of this nature is, not overwhelmingly difficult. Still have to make the shot, but it's very doable for somebody of this level.
Let's not make it sound easy here.
No.
It's got to be a nose hit double,
Yep.
which is.
But with the ice running as keen as it is, it's definitely a lot easier here than other places.
And this is kind of the place where you throw your most comfortable weight. If you like throwing peel, you just run it dead straight. It looks like based on the ice they're calling, it's probably normal, or what we would call normal. Some would call control, but that must have been way inside there.
Yes.
So I can't imagine that Barb's not going to guard this up. Now, at this point, she probably still wants that biter, but I'm guessing she's probably going to be a little bit happier with with a 2 or 3 just coming down to skip stones, because you would expect, the last couple of rocks for red here, if they give him that run back double, are probably a little bit more capable of making it, or at least a higher percentage anyway.
And Sean's certainly getting some trial by fire again, and second time in the last 3 weeks or so he's been playing Vice at where it matters.
Well, he played 3rd for me in the 5 and under,
yep.
And as much as he appeared intimidated by playing Vice, he just jumped right into it. Both feet, doing what he's supposed to do. Questioning about shots. Oh, what about this? Do you see this opportunity over here? So Sean also, we talked about earlier, a big student of the game. Watched a lot of curling on TV. Really likes the strategy part of it, which is really what got me into it in the first place. Because it really is it's a chess match where you have to make the shot in order to move the pawn.
Yes.
And that's really what it is.
Very well said.
So again, Barb's probably looking for that biter, but not going to be upset if she leaves it at 2 or 3 here.
And they're pounding it hard from outside.
Now, line is more important than anything else here. Looks like this does just come across the center line there. So if they're going to be able to hit 1 or 2 of these out here, it can't be real up weight because they got to curl around that guard just a little bit. Now, Barb put on the center line, or even just left of it, Team Gamboa would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You see with the broom placement here, I'm bored.
Yeah, somewhere in the board range.
So they're still trying the double here, but if they can get the nose hit and at least spill the rock that's shot currently in the 4-foot out a little bit somewhere, they probably leave their rock on the nose, and it's shot rock.
And really, you have to play a takeout because trying to freeze to that front one still only leaves you at third shot. So it does nothing.
And unless you make it perfectly, they punch you out.
Yep.
Yeah, they get 3. So real up weight here, kind of surprised how heavy this is. So that's going to cut him down, and Barb should have an open draw here for 2, which would give him a lead back 3-2. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some score updates for everybody.
And as exciting as the action is, one of the fun things is to watch what else is going on. See people watching other sheets, watching scoreboards, who we playing next. And we are getting some live score updates, so we'll be bringing those to you here very shortly. Just making the runs as some of the ends are finishing up. And shots away. Sean coming out to help sweep. Looks like it may be light. Oh yeah, they should have that. And it's tough to tell if that's biting or not. And they do get it in. 2 in the third for Barb and the Rooks. Over on sheet B, odd man out is down 0-4 to Briggs. Sheet C, Button Busters are down 2-7 against Seeger. And over on D, Hurry Hard is up 3-1 on the Wiley Coyotes. And we're going to go over to the odd man out game for just a moment. Check out Bronco Briggs. Ted McCreary calling for something off to the side. Right there, that's where I want it. Right there. Come on. How tough is it? Making very sure that we know what the turn is. Got his arm, his leg. Pretty soon he'll be waving a stick like he's landing an airplane. Just for that, they made him come out and sweep a little. Bronco says, let's get it out here. A little less animation than Ted, but nonetheless, we know what the call is. That takeout courtesy of Brian Cristal, not necessarily known for his takeout weights, but did a fantastic job on that one. Perfect nose hit, leaving the house split. Interesting fact about Elizabeth Johnson, currently in the hack for odd man out. Back in the games of Salt Lake City, I believe it was, a picture of her was used for billboards to help promote the Olympics and the sport of curling. She takes it out and manages to stick around for a bite. Bronco changing his mind. Decides he wants one up top now. He's not worried about that biter at the moment. Bronco, long-time curler, long-time Coyote Club member. Has a cousin that's an Iceman. Done very well, done world championships and other major events. Back up in Canada. Ted is calling to raise that back, wanting a nose hit. Getting down, watching intently. Well executed, gets the one out, gets the other out from behind cover. Gives him an opportunity to still try and build an end. Some live score updates here for you. On sheet 1, Barb and the Rooks are up 3-2 through 3. On sheet B, which we're currently watching, Odd Man Out is down 0-4 to Briggs after 3. Sheet C, we've got Wes Seeger and company up 7-2 over the Button Busters. And over on D, Hurry Hard, the Cassidy clan, down 6-1. Or no, the Hurry Hard is the Cassidy's the Wild Coyotes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes. So there we go. We'll stick around here for a few more stones, and then probably go back over to the sheet A where we've got probably the tightest competition at the moment.
Absolutely. So I watched a couple of the games that Odd Man Out has played here, and Bronco Peter, if you guys watch this, please know, no disrespect meant here, but I would thought that Odd Man Out would have been favored here in this game if there was a Vegas betting line out there. So they must be playing well, and hats off to them.
Yeah.
And their second, Brian Christoph, was actually supposed to be on this team with me, but playing with his senior men's team.
Huh.
And having a good game, so great for them. That's pretty good here, too. And you got one in the house. That red might be a biter. We're down to Skip Stones here, red with the hammer. So imagine hit and roll here, trying to go behind that high yellow guard. Skip for a minute out, Ted McCurry. You see Rita, I imagine his wife, in the room there. And based on the ice call here, probably normal. Call it normal, some people call it control. But take out weight, maybe even a little more, not taking a whole lot of ice, but you want to hit the inside part of that stone so they can roll over a little bit behind that yellow guard.
You see Peter Maxey standing back up there on the waiting ledge. I'd like to give a shout out to his son, fellow Coyote curler Fred Maxey, who's playing up in Ontario this weekend, and he's currently 3-2 at the Village of Taunton Mills Gord Carroll Curling Classic. Say that three times fast.
Yeah.
So good luck to Fred as he continues on with his journeys up north of the border.
Yeah, Fred has a lot of practice around here, and a couple times that Ash and I have come out to meet him out here. And it's funny. He stops immediately, whatever he's doing, as soon as we got on the ice both times we've been here, and immediately went over and tried to help us improve our own game.
Yes.
So, Fred, if you haven't listened to us or friends of his, to express our thanks. Always trying to help the newer curlers improve. And Fred, pretty damn good curler himself, too.
Yep, made it to the Briar in '94.
So a little flash in that last takeout here. So Broncos got a chance here. I think you guard this or you split the house. There's only one stone left in the end.
Yep.
I think you put 2 in there and make them hit for 1.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now,
get some separation here so we can't double it out.
that's the key. And again,
Because you don't know if that red on the outside is a biter. Well, it's tough to tell from here.
it is tough to tell. The other thing is you don't want to be deep. You want to be right where Pete's showing his broom up top there. The closer those 2 stones are to being on the same plane, the tougher it is. If that goes deep like it is now, the opportunity of a double comes more into play.
Yeah, they won't double this here. I think you're probably looking at. I didn't go quite deep enough where they can hit that stone on the top of the house here, but just to either hit the stick or maybe a draw with backing here. I think that's probably the shot. Based on the broom, I think they're probably throwing it in.
You know, part of it though comes into 4th end.
Oh, these guys are from the Granite Club in Seattle.
Yes, 4th end, down 4. Got to make something happen, especially if if that one's not a biter. Then I wouldn't even entertain it. But if it's a biter and you can get 2,
that's such a long double though.
It is.
Sometimes it's
it is.
It's not. If this was the 5th end, that might be a different story. But there's still a ton of time left. You can still get a steal or hold them here or the next thing. You gotta take this situation. Anyway, the Granite Curling Club, I've been up there myself. Wonderful facility. So, unfortunately, a miss on that there. It's going to be a steal 1 for Bronco. And Team Briggs. And they'll go up 5-0. When we go check out what's going on Sheet A. First time I actually ever played on dedicated ice was in the Granite Curling Club.
Did you get co-side?
Co-side. Guess not. Well, we're waiting for Eric to tell me what that is. Had a great time up there. Great club. They have a wonderful viewing area, which is actually it's on the 2nd level above the sheet. So you got this whole area that goes out and around. So if you have a chance to ever get up there and curl, not only is the ice phenomenal, but a good place to do some broom stacking.
Absolutely. Side, there's a lady up there. You feel like you're winning the whole game, and when all said and done, come the 8th end, last stone, you end up losing by 3. You don't even know.
Oh, on the side. That's that.
It's become regularity. Yes, Betty. It's become such a regularity. They actually have T-shirts for people that define it. I've been co-side. And
I guess I don't watch enough curling.
It comes down and like gives you a bag of popcorn and everything else, and you don't even realize you just lost.
All right, I'll put that in my curling lingo repertoire.
So Martin Brooks looking pretty good here again.
Sitting 3.
Sitting 3 in the house. Looks like they're probably counting all 3 as well.
Hit and roll here. So 2 left here. Their option is, draw maybe something at the top of the house. That's shot. Trying to get it behind that yellow guard. But I think that looks like they are drawn based on the ice. So are we seeing that count about top of the house? This is probably T-line, maybe in a little bit heavier. I think would be just fine. All about line here. I think they're trying to go behind this yellow guard that's out here just touching the 12, or all the way in the 12 foot, just touching the 8 foot. Man, we need that telestrator.
Yeah, Ron Bergen on
Well, yeah, unfortunately, the people watching it can't see it. If I draw the Sharpie on the screen, it might ruin the screen. A wonderful suggestion up here.
Yep, we're all good. Thank you.
A little heavy here, and so rolled heavier. Still looks like Barb's setting 3 here. You know, this is kind of a funny spot here. What do you guard?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to guard something.
There's really no way.
There's so many shots that are going to be available for Team Gamboa, and the last one just, you know, I guess you
right
draw.
there.
Yeah,
no,
it's got to either got to be there or the other side. You know,
it-
you try to get another one in the house in case they miss it. And you can see Sean indicating the left side. She says, "Well, let's go on the right because they've got backing over there, and if they can freeze that red, they're going to be shot." Which is probably, you know, it's probably the better play.
And who knows, too, we haven't watched every stone of this game, but maybe they're seeing something come down one way or another, one turn versus another.
Yeah. Well, Daryl will tell you that it's you should never go across the ice like it looks like they're trying to do. But sometimes, especially I've noticed this weekend, there's a good 6-7 feet of curl sometimes. So you almost have to do it, otherwise you're standing on the button on the sheet next to you trying to put the broom up in the right place.
Yep. That is absolutely correct.
Another option here is you could just draw in behind one of these guards and just really try to take a big steal. The only problem with that though is if you leave it open, you got a wide open hit, and all of a sudden, you know, when you look like you might be able to steal 3, your opponent's going to get 1.
What would you think about?
They've got the open draw anyway.
Exactly. So if you plug the hole up top on the right or the left, they can come in the other way. It's not a big deal.
Right.
It's not going
to stop.
What if you were to play a hit and roll off that red, try and come up behind the yellow, and now if they miss that draw, you're really sitting pretty.
The only trouble with that, it has to be perfect. The flop has to be perfect.
It does, but again,
Because
they're going to be drawn for 1. That's the only thing they can do.
Yeah.
So why not take the risk?
So Sean, well, again, the risky shot here, trying to count 4. I think that they're probably calling that. What I think they're trying to do here is, you know, rather than doing the hit and roll, because they don't have a red stone that's counting right here.
Yep.
So it gives you an opportunity to roll over, but you don't really need it because you can draw in here.
Yeah, true, very true.
So I would think that if Barb's not trying to draw in here and be behind this guard that's looks like a second shot, she's trying to leave 1.
What about freezing to the back? I mean, I know they've already got their shot called, but freezing to the back, which would actually be shot, and it would still force them to have to hit that same drop.
Yeah, it's still something more to freeze to, though. I mean, it's so wide open, you can't guard everything.
Well, exactly.
You know, it's funny. I heard Daryl say yesterday that when Gamboa comes up here, you wish you had one of those like the Angry Birds rocks that could just pop into 3.
Yes.
Go everywhere. I'm sure that Team Gamboa wish they had one of those on this last stone here. So I imagine we're just doing a draw to the button.
No, it came up a little short. Or a lot short.
I mean
yeah.
on this
Yes.
Even if they guarded, you know, they're obviously throwing a guard with the weight they had there. So even if they guarded up, they go for the other side. I mean, they're going to have this draw. And really, if you're Barb Cressman, then you're fine with this.
Yep.
You make a tough draw to take 1. You know, sometimes it's disheartening when you're counting so many stones, and the skip nullifies you with the last stone. But that's why you have the hammer.
Yeah, there's definitely a momentum shift that can happen, and
That happened a couple times.
you know,
to me in the last game.
let's not forget last night, Team Gamboa, 8th stone of the 8th end, had a chance to draw to go to skip stones, and it went through past the button. They went past the 4-foot and almost out the back of the 8th. So
That remind me about skip stones in the 8th end. So it's still a little sore there about that. So just to draw to the button here, and you work so hard to be counting 3, and like I said before, they come down and draw to the button and cut you down. This looks pretty good.
this looks real good.
Good shot. It can almost be disheartening for a team like Barb and the Rooks. But you accomplished your goal. You made them make a difficult shot to take 1 when they had the hammer.
Absolutely.
You cannot ask for anything else. You can't expect to steal every end. It's not going to happen. So hopefully they're very happy with that result. And they've tied the game here. We're going to go to the 5th end. Why don't we stay here? It's probably the best game we got going, right?
This is the best game we got going at the moment, closest. We'll just flip that camera around here and we'll go from there.
So, center line in the house, like a 6, which is a pretty traditional call here. That's what I was calling for my league whenever I didn't have the hammer this spiel. And except if I play a team from San Francisco, they take that out. But, you know, it's a big draw game here in Canada, and really high level spiels. You wouldn't even think about ever not utilizing that free guard zone.
Yes.
But different game, you know, although we have some great teams here, we're watching a couple of them right now. This is still, you know, this is a fun spiel. This isn't a, let's put together our all-star team from the club and see what we can do. That all waits till later at Playdowns and MOPAC, and hopefully you and I will be a part of that.
Absolutely.
As will many of the participants here today.
That's one of the reasons we've heard a lot of them came. Was, or I shouldn't say, it was one of their reasons. It wasn't the primary, but it gave them a chance again to check out the facility, check out the ice.
And we are playing the men's and women's
yes,
Playdowns here.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I know that Justin McBride, Wes Seeger, they have Playdown teams. I don't know about anybody else that I've heard of.
Gamboa is another one.
Gamboa's got one too. So that's coming up in January.
Yes. The 14th.
Probably a few less beers drank on the ice during that spiel.
Probably just a few.
That'll be a good one. A lot of good teams. A lot of people know each other well, been crawling against each other for a long time, and we'll see if you and I can't get the Yotes to Nationals.
Absolutely. So Gamboa putting on some pressure here, forcing Barb and the Rooks to throw a takeout at the Pierce. They're sweeping for line.
Pro shot here is a double, but I would think that they just want to get one of them, maybe roll over here. All right, back to the action. That's what we have that cough button for, right, buddy? You know who used that to perfection was the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Harry Doyle, Bob Euchre.
Oh yes, absolutely. Unlike Harry Carey, who didn't know where it was.
Yeah, well, he'd just talk about all the women in the crowd without hitting the cough button. If you want to hear some funny stuff, just Google some of that. So back to the action here. Second of 2 for Tatiana. One of those and a little rollover. It's the right shot. Got one of those out of there.
Yeah, well done.
You know what Daryl would have called there if that was your shot. Peel, double, narrow.
Not for my shot. I only throw stones 1 and 2.
That's right. Well, you 3s and 7s, right?
Yes, 3s and 7s.
But nonetheless, fine shot there. So again, Bo is going to try and take out that yellow and sit 2 again.
Now, from where he was holding the broom, it actually looked like he is trying to go for that double. He wants to run that back to that yellow and
he could do that. I think that's probably the ideal shot. I think what I would look for is a roll off of this, just so Barb can't double out your reds. So you've effectively split the house here, unless Tim Howard's throwing this next shot.
See, she's calling for that one first.
She is calling the she is calling the double here. So let's see what Tim Howard. Sean Keeling does here. If you're the main goal, just get one of those out. You roll over, you tap that one over. That's great. So I think based on this ice, normal. Sean will tell you he's got normal and he's got draw. Oh, it's Tatiana. I'm sorry. It's her second one.
This may be a little out of her comfort zone. Typically plays lead, throws 3s like she's a Pez dispenser.
She tells you like she's not comfortable with this stuff, but she's great at it.
It could be the Russian.
Yeah,
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. Great shot. Great shot. Red still shot, but they got one of those out of there.
And they did manage to close the gap on the second one, too. So now if they want to run theirs back or they come out or something, depending.
So they can chip it out the side.
Exactly.
Even come down and play a hit maybe later in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely. I don't know if you've had a close look at the broom head of Gamboa, but it's got a little stencil on the underside.
For the USA one? Or the
close. Hit this, dumbass.
I'll find out where he got that.
Sorry for the language, but I was quoting his broom.
Hey, we had Ryan and Cassie on yesterday, so I'm sure language is just fine.
It is the internet.
That's true. So if they freeze here, a little late. I think that's probably what the call was, the freeze.
Yep, yeah, that was, but that's still fine shot.
Hittable.
Yep.
You hit and roll over and try to leave yourself a little bit of cover with that yo on the back. Barb indicating she wants that out of the house. It wants to roll over to the right. Another good option. So based on that ice, normal. Sean's got that. Like you said, he's got normal and draw. So loses the shooter.
But does also take care of the primary objective, which was to get rid of the one on the bottom.
Oh, yeah. So if you're Gamboa right now, you could just get conservative and try to split the house, try to get 2 or 3 here. It doesn't look like they want to do that. They want to try and freeze that back yellow, and that would make Barb do the same thing with hers. So kind of a defensive strategy here. I'm a little surprised by this, especially based on the last couple games that I've seen. Interesting whenever you see both skips sweeping it. It's always fun. So Barb says, let's take this out. I don't think she minds losing the shooter here. But I think a nose hit would be ideal. Maybe roll over just a little bit to try and get in front of that other yellow one so they can't get both of them out. Not a lot of ice called here, so I'm expecting a upweight shot here from Sean. But obviously they've got to hit it on. You have to err on the what would be the north side of that red there, so you don't wreck on your own yellow. Super's off of it, and she did. Or it looks like he did hit that yellow, but it's okay. I got the main objective accomplished. And yellow's still sitting shot here as enough of a nose hit. So red's got it going for at least 2 here. They got to hit that out of here. I think hit and roll over, probably towards the yellow and red they got over there. But the big thing is they have to keep this bite in the white so they can be a second shot. Maybe that can give them an opportunity to have a good end.
And we'll have some more live scores coming up for you here very shortly, as we're getting some updates from the other sheets.
So based on this ice, they might be trying to roll the other way, which is probably another good call. If they can get this just in line with that yellow in the back, and if yellow's able to hit theirs out, they might wreck on that yellow one. So it depends on line here. But obviously the main objective hitting the stone. It's only a 10-inch object, you know. 142 feet down the ice. So nose hit there, and Barb's last stone here, she's obviously got a hit here, but again trying to roll behind cover, because if she nose hits and Gamboa nose hits, then they get 2, which they'd have anyway even if they spilled it out. I don't even know if she would mind spilling the shooter out here. You would think roll over to Sean Keeling's right there. Try and get in line with that other yellow stone, make it a little bit more difficult so Team Gamboa can't get that nose hit.
Just a few updates for you here. We're probably going to be seeing some handshakes pretty soon. As we're all watching, the Gamboa Barb and Rooks is 3-3 through 4. Odd Man Out is down 1-5 and breaks through 4. Over on Sheet C, Seeger is up 10-2 on the Button Busters through 5. And on Sheet D, Hurry Hard is up 10-1 over the Wile E. Coyotes through 4.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, it's funny, we've the last draw too, there was a couple or quite a few matches that were very unequitable, let's just put it that way. And the way that these bonspiels work is what happens when you lose one or you lose two, you go 1-1, you go into a bracket or an event with teams that all have similar records. So what it serves to do is increase the level of competition, you know, relative to where your team is. So all the 0-2 teams
Yep.
play each other down for the D event final. You know, the 0-1 teams go to the B, some of the 1-1s go to the B. And it's interesting, usually as you get further on into a bonspiel, you see more competitive games, but this is kind of been the opposite here, the last 2 draws. So a little hit here for 2. Oh, might be able to sweep this out. A little bit of a miss there for Gamboa, so they're going to get 1. I'm sure a little disappointed in that. But nonetheless, we're down the whole end, so... Oh, I'm sorry, we got... No, it's still 3-3. I didn't realize that Barb had the hammer here. I've been calling this game wrong the whole end here. Not the first time that's happened on this broadcast. So Barb's got a hit for 2.
Yeah.
This is always the quandary. It's what shot you're most comfortable with. Daryl a lot. He likes to throw normal, which is pretty traditional. Just try for that nose hit. Looks where Sean has his broom is probably board weight. Personally, when I skip, I'm more comfortable with board weight. It's whatever shot you know you can hit the broom with, and then you just put the ice out there accordingly. So last shot of the underway here for Barb. At least the line was really good. See Sean going out to sweep it. You know, if I'm going to talk to him after this, tell him he should be back there watching the line. Just got to, come on, Tatiana, get that out. A bit of a miss there.
Yeah, that was his stone to sweep.
So,
oh, wow.
Steal a 1 there for Gamboa. Looks like that might have overcrowed a little bit. Based on that hug/punch I just saw Tatiana and Sean exchange. She might have been saying the same thing I just did. Get your ass back in the house and sweep. That's what Russian wives say a lot, right? Get your ass back in the house and sweep. Love you, Tatiana. Another score update here.
Yeah, we've got... get this uploaded here in just a moment.
So we're going to stay with this game because it appears to be the most competitive. I'm sure a few people watching want to watch their friends and family.
And we do have one correction for you. Odd Man Out scored 2 in the 5th, not 1. And Hurry Hard after 5 is now up 11-1. So
we'll keep an eye on B. Maybe that's where we go next here. I think we watch one more in here over on A and see how this plays out.
So the first stones are away. Gamboa puts up a nice centerline guard, and Barb and the Rooks put theirs through the back of the house. Gamboa looking to use that centerline guard that he's got going on. Looking for something around the top of the 8-foot. And just a reminder, we do have one more draw coming up here this afternoon, and that is at 4:45 p.m. On Sheet 8, we have Bonnie and the Clydes out of Calgary, Cleveland, and Phoenix, so another blended team, taking on Fleming, who is a Newfie by birth but Coyote by choice. Then we have the Broken Broom Squad, which is another Coyotes curling team, against Taken for Granted, which has former national champion Bucky Marshall on it. And then on Sheet C, you have So Many Vices, which is a Coyotes curling team, against the Four Peaks Rockers, who are skipped by Carol Huntress, but have Quebecian Bill Ben as their vice. And on Sheet D, you have Gold Country Curling out of Wine Country, skipped by Brian Prowse, against Just Wanna Curl, who are out of San Francisco, skipped by Brian Davidson. Oh, excuse me, Mike Greenberg. They have it listed wrong. Excuse me. Gamboa certainly seems to be taking control of this end. Barb calling for the takeout. Having failed to score with the hammer on the last end, now looking like they may be giving up a couple more. This is one of those situations where hopefully you don't let it get out of control for you. You know, so often after a game, you sit there and you can think of 2 or 3 turning points. It's okay to think of them. It's what you learn from and take away and implement the next time you're faced against them that really come to benefit. Question from Evan Elliott. Yes, that is Paul Mendoza skipping for Gamboa. But we are just going by the team name, so you are correct on that. And again, both Paul and Gamboa are playing with their wives this weekend, making a nice weekend of it in the Valley of the Sun. Barb and the Rooks not looking so hot here at the moment. Team Gamboa sitting 3 with no houses and no stones in the house for Barb and the Rooks having the hammer.
So it looks like Gamboa just wants to come down and be second shot on that yellow, huh?
Yeah, well, are they second or they would be first and second? Yeah, that would be correct. So
Nice shot.
well played shot to the back of the forefoot there. Gives Barb and the Rook something to think about. She calls just a freeze on it. So now Gamboa sitting 1. Barb and the Rook sitting 2-3. Gamboa just wants to put it right back up, top of the forefoot, and they'll force Barb and the Rooks to do something for 1.
Well, it's interesting why Barb and the Rooks don't go for that shot 1 on the tee line, delaying 3, and then force Gamboa to do a draw. Any shots he left?
Well,
Still, so this is the first of skip stones for Gamboa. There's 2 for Barb and the Rooks.
yeah, they had to just take out that shot stone last time, which was sitting at the back of the forefoot. So we'd like to welcome back into the booth Daryl Horseman, as Mike Siggins, as mentioned earlier, is running to pick up dinner for the event here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got to thank Pastor Brioni for.
Mexican food.
Yeah, that's kind of for what Mike was saying. All of his chefs or his cooks were looking forward to cooking something a little different than pasta.
Yeah, he was all excited to make some of the enchilada sauces and that himself, and they said, "No, we got this." So, hey, a big shout out to them.
Yep, absolutely.
So now this is an interesting predicament here. With that shot not making it back to the house, Barb and the Rooks, and it looks like, as discussed, they're probably going to take this out, try and flop over behind those 2 centerline guards, and they'll be sitting 3. I don't know if it's just me or what, knowing Sean a bit, but does it seem like every team he's on sounds like they're a Motown band? He was Dr. J and something else up in McCall, and they were for the 5 and under. They were something and something else.
Right, right.
Now they're Barb and the Rooks. Like he needs a record label deal.
I think so. Yeah. So if there's any execs from RCA listening, we've got your guy. Oh, so they are making a play on that red stone.
Yeah, the draw from
Gamboa,
from
Mendoza.
Yep, from Mendoza came up woefully short and gave them an opportunity now, and if they pull this off, they'll be sitting 3.
Mm-hmm. Be good. It'd be nice to get kind of hit and roll behind those staggered guards out front.
Yes, and that's exactly what she is called.
Shots away. Just missed it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, because I doubt Mendoza's going to miss the draw a second time.
Well, you would think so. Yeah, that would give Barb Cressman another opportunity if it does come up short again, to potentially take a little less ice, do the hit and roll. Looks like she had obviously a lot of weight, but who knew? Who knows what happened between when she let it go and by the time we got to the hog line. So.
It looks like, again, we're probably a bit light from the called shot.
Is it going to make it around those guards?
Yes,
it does, just a little bit. Well, not what they intended, but certainly gives Barb the opportunity to throw the same shot she just threw, correct some maybe the line issue, go for the 3.
Yeah, it certainly was enough weight.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to remind you again, we do have one more draw coming up this evening, or this afternoon, and that begins at 4:45, and it features on sheet A, Bonnie and the Clydes, out of Calgary, Alberta, Cleveland, Ohio, and the Coyote Curling Club against Team Fleming, again, which, as was mentioned earlier, granted it says Coyotes AZ, but Wayne was a Newfie by birth, Coyote by choice. Then on sheet B, we have the Broken Broom Squad versus taking on Taken for Granite. And sheet C, we have So Many Vices versus the Four Peak Rockers. And on sheet D, we have Gold Country Curling versus Just Wanna Curl. And shots away. Comes in and it's 2 for, looks like, without question, 3 yellow.
Yeah, good job by Barb and the Rooks.
And we're going to have a live update for you here in just a moment on the rest of the sheets as a few of the other games were winding down. The Button Busters shook hands with Team Seeger as Seeger won 10-2 in the 6th end. It appears, and Hurry Hard still has a commanding lead over the Wile E. Coyotes, 11-1, as that'll probably be winding down very shortly as well.
Not sure how this works, but there should probably be a skip over here. Let's go back to other hack and see what's going on. Looks like they're having some discussion about something.
I wonder, because it was tough to tell. I thought there was 3 yellows real quick, and the decision was made so fast, I had no clue what was going on.
That's interesting what they're doing out there. I'm not sure. Looks like they're resetting, but looks like there's some sort of looks like they've got whatever
Issues sorted out.
Let's go to the other hack there.
Yep.
So it is 6-4.
6-4 through 6.
So it is 6-4 through 6. Well, we're going to finish up the broadcast on sheet A because the other sheets the scores aren't very close.
Yeah, we have odd man out down 2-5 to Briggs. We have Seeger shaking hands with the Button Busters after a 10-2 victory, and Hurry Hard is now up 12-1 over the Wile E. Coyotes. I fully anticipate a handshake pretty soon there.
Well, Gamboa here trying to get two to tie up in the seventh ends, put up the first high guard, and did a good job curling around, put one on the button. Barb's emphatically saying, whoop, it's got a lot of weight, and the ice here was running 14 seconds earlier today when we were on. It was really keen from hog to hog. So it's not going to take a lot of oomph to get it down the sheet. So in there, looks like Barb was trying to do maybe a peel, get that rock out of there, because part of her strategy now is going to be to keep the house as clean as possible to prevent Mendoza and crew from taking multiple points and tying up the game. This end brought to you by Crown Royal, my curler's friend, near and dear to my heart.
And Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Absolutely, to our favorite drinks that never give up on us. There we go, nice guard. I don't think that's what they were wanting, but they'll certainly use it to their advantage. Barb looks like she may want to clear out the front, prevent Gamboa and Mendoza from hiding any more rocks behind there. It's usually pretty good to do that first part, first few rocks in an end once you get through the 4-rock zone, the free guard zone, pardon me.
Well, plus that way nothing comes back and bites you later on if there's a tap that goes funny or something else. Just keep a clean house.
Yep.
Good for curling and at home.
Yeah, I figured that comment was coming at some point. But you were very wise in not saying who needs to do the cleaning, so it's good. So it looks like it would be good here if Barb could run that straight back and maybe double out the rock in the house. Yeah, they're sweeping hard. Looks like it has just enough weight. That'd be a half shot, be a missed shot really. Mendoza. Interesting tactic. Mendoza says, let's just throw a centerline guard. Another strategy might be to throw a T-line draw shot through the port there on the left side. Use that left yellow as a guard. But instead he's saying, let's just one in the hands. We're doing the bush, and we'll protect it and see where we go from there. Now on there, they're going to have to pay the pay. Came up a little short. Didn't make the hog line, unfortunately. It's interesting, anybody who's done a bonspiel, you get to, Saturday midday, you've been curling for 2-3 days, maybe not eating the best and not sleeping the best. Some teams, kind of get hotter as the week goes on. Some teams, kind of run out of gas. So I wonder if we're seeing a little bit of that here. We're just going to get an update here for sheet B, odd man out, and Briggs score through 5. We had a little trouble seeing it on the far board, so Eric's volunteered to go out there and have a look at it. It's 5-3, odd man out through 5, so odd man out scored 1 in the 5th there. We'll make an update on the line scores. This one's curling around nicely. Is it going to stick around? just going to settle on the back 12. It'd be interesting to see if that shot comes into play later on in the end. Barb's looking at what to do here. Probably she's electing to hit that. You can see it's on the right side of center. The high guard's up at the front, or left side of center, so it's fully exposed. There is an opportunity for maybe a hack to board weight shot to maybe double out those reds to get them out of play.
Now, Daryl, would you prefer to hit the double or hit the one and just make sure you maybe roll behind the cover on the two there, those two guards?
Either way, both are a good option. Both are, you would take either. But I suppose in this particular case, you might want to hit and roll behind cover, because while certainly Barb and the Rooks, their plan is to not allow Gamboa to take two, they should be looking at how to potentially steal as well. So here that's a missed shot. They unfortunately sailed by everything, and it's easy to do on ice that's this fast, throwing a little bit up weight. So you're not going to give the rock the chance to be able to curl over a little bit. And it's interesting. From Barb and the Rook's perspective, you got two opposition stones in the house. Maybe the shooter just put a little bit of pressure on them, saying, "I've got to get this out. I've got to make it."
Yeah.
The team's counting on me, and it's easy to get in your own way sometimes. Well, certainly Gamboa here's or Mendoza's in control, throwing up another guard. They say, we've got the two we need to tie this up, but they're going to have to think about maybe going for three here. While it's good to tie it, going home in the eighth without hammer, a tie game, but certainly a little bit of insurance would be to get maybe 3 points, tie it up, and then plus have an extra shot or an extra point. We'll see how it turns out. So far, Cressman and crew need to do a little house management here. I think get something in play, maybe take a shot edge of the maybe mid-12, curl around, put something in the house, or take care of those high guards. Regardless, this is the point in time. We are down to skip stones. So. Yeah, this would be. It's important to get a rock in play here. Certainly, Mendoza's got last rock, so him playing for three right now is certainly doable. So, looking at that ice call, unless something's changed a little bit, we had the chance of playing on the sheet a little earlier today. Good draw weight ice might be around the 8 and 12 foot line. So we'll see. Let's see if Rider Nation lives well. Maybe all the folks back in Regina are rooting Barb on. Well, our first of skip stones is away. It's got to be close. Wait, Sean. Paul wants to get into the action. Have a look. Looks a little narrow. Just catches that front guard. Rolls in. And it may do the temporary job of outcounting Mendoza's second shot, but it does allow for and they're kind of indicating there, a high guard, maybe top of the 8 foot. Certainly a more aggressive shot would be to hit that yellow and roll into the center line. Lots of options. Alright, so this is Paul's first one. It's away. That's indicating to the sweepers where he'd like it to end, top 12. That would put some pressure on Barb and the team.
Now, would you like to be top 12, or are you thinking full 12 to see if you maybe can't count 3?
Well, yeah, certainly biting the 8-foot would be good. This is a good shot. Certainly with the way Barb and her rink has been shooting, there is an opportunity for a double out and maybe force Paul and crew to do a nice draw or a hit. But what we've seen so far, I guess, out of Barb and her rink is maybe taking a little more ice than need be for the shot. Well, here we go. She's tightening it up a little bit. Well, looks like they're shaking on sheet B here. We'll see what's going on in a minute. Looks like Ted was taking off his glove.
Yeah.
Usually not a good sign. So let's see here. Barb's in the hack, doing her pre-shot routine.
And it does appear to be correct that they are shaking on sheet B as we're seeing stones be pushed back down.
So Bronco and crew must have taken a few more, maybe.
May have taken odd man out.
I see what you did there. Well, unfortunately not the result they were looking for on sheet A. This is just going to give Paul a free shot for 3, kind of going back to my earlier comment, playing for 3, being up 1 without the hammer. That's statistically a good position to be in. Because the onus at that point is completely on the other team trying to steal 1. And usually trying to steal more than 1 is a tall order. So, objective 1 complete. I guess I might have jumped the gun. It still hasn't left Paul's hand yet, so a lot could happen. It could pick, it could go a little short or a little long. Shaking.
Okay. I'm assuming it's probably due to the time, that being the last end.
Oh, yeah, that could be it. Well, we do have a 4:45 draw starting, so that would give the ice makers time to prep and nip the ice. So,
heck of a comeback by Gamboa Mendoza.
absolutely, yeah, it's a good showing for them. Absolutely. All right, well, while we take a wide view of the home sheets and see if we got any action.
And we're not sure what the score is over on sheet D, but we can certainly go bring the action to you.
Good friends on sheet D, the Wile E. Coyotes, led by Mike Cassidy, Sue Cassidy as vice, Lillian Manella as second, and Carrie Messina coming up as lead. Sue is probably the most colorful curler, and then certainly Mike. people, a lot of energy. Great ambassadors to the game of curling. We're extremely lucky and happy to see them participate in the Fall Fiesta. I don't know if the results on the sheets were what they were looking for, but certainly they've been having a lot of fun and making a lot of new friends here in Arizona. Go there. Mike came up just a little bit short. You know, I don't think they play with any shorter sheet. And the Hurry Hard group out of Vernon and Calgary, you know, the Carol Martel, Diane Dorr, Lorraine Mansell, Valley Persowich. They're sitting 1-2. Looks like they're going to be able to draw in that third rock. There we go. There. It's going to put a little bit of pressure on Mike and Sue. It looks like Sue's channeling her intern-outturn hat.
I was just informed that we should go over to sheet B as they are going to Skips Rocks, as Odd Man Out came back and did tie it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go have a look. Greg just took it. Go to B1.
Yep.
All right, so Skip Stones here against Odd Man Out and Briggs. So they're measuring right there.
Is that Greg Gallagher or an extra ring in there?
We saw there Mike's last shot was coming down to the house. Probably not deep as they would have liked.
So bring it. So Briggs, having just thrown his stone, waiting to get the measurement on it. Odd Man Out is up next.
And it looks like that was it just biting the button?
That's it. It seemed very close. Yes.
Okay, so it's running 60-20 inches. Here it comes. Briggs' shot looks like it's running a little deep. Yes, indeed. You know, you see Peter Maxey throwing out the handshakes to Ted McCreary and Rita McCreary out of Alberta.
So Odd Man Out comes back with a victory over Skip Stones.
6-5. 6-5 after 8. That was fantastic. Good job, everyone. So stay tuned. We're going to reset here in the control booth and bring you the 5:45 game momentarily.